Good morning, everyone. Just waiting for everybody to join, and then we'll begin. Hamza, please turn off your camera.
Hi, Miss Ananda.
Morning.
Good morning, Miss Ananda. Morning.
All right. Just two more to enter, and we can begin. Okay, can you hear me? I think so. Something wrong with the headphone in this class. Let's try here. Okay. Can you hear me? Okay, if you can hear me, raise your hand, please. Thank you, Ahba. Thank you, Hamza, Melik, Jamana. Thank you, all of you, for raising your hand. Thank you. Okay, reminder, you're supposed to enter the meeting with your cameras off. Okay, just a few more people entering. Make sure you turn your camera off as you enter the meeting. Hello, Lan. We have an echo. Do you hear an echo? If you hear an echo, if please raise your hand. Hmm. Okay. Let me try to figure out what this echo is. We've not had this echo before. Let me try this. Do we still have an echo? Put your hands down, please. Everybody put your hands down, please. Everyone put your hands down, please. Thank you. Now if you hear an echo, raise your hand. Excellent. No echo. Wonderful. All right. Let's see. Okay. Someone still has their camera on. Let me check the list. All right, still have people in our waiting room trying to join. Just 1 second while they're coming in. I still have 2 people trying to get into the waiting room, getting in from the waiting room, and we will start. I'm going to share my screen with you now. Okay, you should be able to see my screen where it has our lovely Zoom meeting. All right. Now we're going to start today's lesson. We're going to start today's lesson in 1 or 2 minutes. I want to remind you about what we discussed day before yesterday, because we lost our meeting yesterday due to the electricity being off in the school. So I want to do a really quick reminder of what we discussed on Monday. Okay. All right, let me just open this and see if we still have the documents here. Okay, I hope so. Let's try. All right, so let's talk about very quickly the 4 types of sentences that we discussed. Very quickly, before we get started on today's lesson, I'll go over the 4 types of sentences. Now, if you remember one of the 4 types of sentences, you can raise your hand. I'm going to let you tell me what you remember. Who remembers one of the 4 types of sentences? Anyone remember? Who has their hand up? Jumana, you are the first one to raise your hand. What do you remember, honey? Which type of sentence do you remember?
Imperative.
Jumana, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello?
Hello.
All right, I'm having a problem with the audio. I can't hear you now. You can hear me, and I can't hear you. 1 second. Let's try this again. We're gonna get an echo like this. Let me step away. Hang tight for 1 second while I try to plug it into the back of the computer. Just give me 1 minute. Can you hear me moving the furniture around? Give me 1 second, I'm connecting.
نوني الاثنين صح؟
ايه الاثنين؟
ترسمي؟
مش لسه ما بدأتش.
طب سيبي ده
لسه
حتى لو خلاص.
Okay, let's try one more time. Let me test the speakers. There's a problem with the speaker in grade 4 right now. I have no idea. Just 1 second, I'll get IT to come and help me. Jumana, can you hear me?
Yes.
Jumana, can you hear me?
Yes.
Jumana, if you can hear me, can you raise your hand? Wait, I'm going to put your hand down. If you can hear me, Jumana, can you raise your hand? Okay, you can hear me. Problem is, I cannot hear you. All right, I'm going to do the lesson until they come to help us from IT. Please, everyone put your hand down because there's a problem with the speaker and I cannot hear you. So everyone, please put your hands down. And okay, I'm going to give you the lesson to say as soon as they come. As soon as they come, I will try to fix it so that you can hear me, so that I can hear you. All right, for now, I'm going to give you the lesson and we're going to start. Okay, I believe everyone can hear me. I have every indication that you're able to hear me. All right, so yesterday we were talking about, sorry, day before yesterday, we were talking about the 4 types of sentences. And we have declarative, which is like a statement. It is a sentence that tells us something. Just like we learned about statements in grade 3, we now know that the term for a statement is a declarative sentence, okay? So we learned about declarative yesterday. We learned about interrogative. Interrogative is a statement. Interrogative is a sentence that asks a question, okay? Question. And declarative statement, interrogative, question. The next type of sentence that we learned about was imperative. An imperative sentence is a command. It's a sentence that tells us to do something, okay? So we have a declarative statement that gives us information, tells us something. We have interrogative, which is a sentence that asks a question. We have imperative, which is a command. A command tells us to do something. And we have exclamatory. And exclamatory is a sentence that shows great feeling when we're excited. Okay, so it shows great feeling. We called it in grade 3 exclamation. All right, now a declarative sentence. People are messaging me on Facebook. I'm sorry, I can't stop to answer your messages on Facebook while I'm giving the meeting. A statement ends with a period as its punctuation mark. Interrogative ends with a question mark. An imperative, a command, ends with a period. And exclamatory ends with an exclamation mark, okay? All right, so these are the 4 types of sentences that we discussed. All right. I have people with their cameras open. I asked you to close your cameras when you join the meeting. Make sure that you close your camera when you join the meeting. All right. So these are the 4 types of sentences that we discussed on Monday. Now, today's lesson is about combining sentences. Okay, combining sentences. This is something that we have taken before. With the conjunction and. Okay, we combine sentences that were related, that we're talking about the same. For people who are raising a problem with the speaker, I cannot hear you. Okay, I cannot hear you. So I need you to put your hands down. I can't answer you until I have IT come to check the speaker. Okay, I'm sorry. For now, you just need to listen to the lesson, okay? All right. Now, combining sentences. When we talked about combining sentences in grade 3, we talked about combining 2 sentences that were related, that talked about similar things. And we joined those 2 sentences by using a conjunction and combining the sentences. Okay, please don't send me messages on Facebook while I'm talking, because it keeps popping up on my screen and it's distracting, and I can't give the lesson and stop and answer you on Messenger, okay? So you'll have to wait until we finish the meeting to ask, okay? All right, now, so combining sentences, as I told you, are when 2 sentences are related, talking about the same thing, and we use a conjunction to combine them. In grade 4, we will use 3 different conjunctions to combine our sentences. We will use and, we will use but, and we will use or, okay? All right, so combining sentences. When we combine sentences using a conjunction, it's called a compound sentence. Okay, so we are combining and creating compound sentences. Here, compound sentences. This is what we're going to make. Using the conjunctions and, but, and or. All right? Now, first we said that we use conjunction. We use a conjunction to join words. All right, a conjunction is a word that joins words or groups of words. Okay, like for instance, if I say ISIL and Farah, the conjunction and joins the word ISIL and the word Farah. It joins words or groups of words. Like, ISIL likes to eat ice cream, but Farah likes to drink milkshakes. Okay? A conjunction is a word that's used to join words or groups of words. All right, just one second. All right, so then a compound sentence, which is what we're going to create using our conjunction. Compound sentence contains two sentences. Remember I said we can combine two sentences that are talking about similar things or different things. We can combine them using a conjunction and when they are similar, but when they are different. The word or when we have a choice, okay? So a compound sentence contains two sentences joined, we put them together by a conjunction. They're joined by a conjunction. Sorry, didn't mean to put them together. There we go. Sentences joined by a conjunction and, but, or. What do we put before we add and, but, or to our two sentences? We add a comma and a conjunction, okay? Now, I'll show you a couple of examples, and I'm sure that you will remember these sentences once I show you the examples. And, but, or. Okay? So we will work with three conjunctions. The conjunction and, used when we are combining things that are similar. The conjunction but, used when we are combining things that have a contrast, there's a difference. And the word or, when there is a choice. Okay, when there is a choice. Let's take a look at one of the examples, and I think you will remember doing this last year, but in grade 3, we only used and, okay? All right. Greg found a bat in the attic. The attic is the upper part of the house where people use mostly as storage to keep things up that they put away maybe for winter, or they put away in the winter for summer, and they store things in it. The attic is the top part of the house. Greg found a bat in the attic, and it startled him. Startled means it surprised him, it scared him, it caught him off guard. All right, Greg found a bat in the attic and it startled him. Our first sentence is Greg found a bat in the attic. Greg found a bat in the attic. First sentence. It startled him. Second sentence. Because they are related and they are talking about two things that are similar, because they happen together, we combine them using the conjunction and. When we combine them, we put a comma before our conjunction. Notice that the beginning of the second sentence is lowercase. Guys, I cannot call on you because my speaker is not working. I cannot hear you. So I told you I have to keep your hands down until the IT team comes and looks at the speaker, okay? I can't call on you, I'm sorry. All right, if you have a question, you can send it to me on Messenger for now. If I have a chance, I'll open during the meeting. If not, I'll have to answer after. All right, so this is with the word and. Now let's talk about but. But is when there's a contrast, there's a difference. The bat had been asleep. Okay, that's my first sentence. The bat had been asleep, comma, but now it is flying around. Okay, so there's a difference. First, the bat was asleep. Now it's flying around. We use the conjunction but to show the difference. The bat had been asleep, but now it is flying around. Two different actions. We use but to show the two different actions and to combine them, okay? So, and when the things are related, but when there is a difference, and or when there is a choice. Let me give you an example of or. Someone messaged me and asked me, do you write this in the notebook? For me, I would rather you listen to the lesson, pay attention to the examples, and when we finish, you can go back and look at the video of the meeting and write down the notes in your notebook. If you want to write them now, it's kind of up to you. You're at home, you get to make the choice, but I would prefer that you pay attention and listen to the examples and write after class. All right, because you'll have a copy of the video. I put the videos up every day on Smart School, so you can go back and watch it anytime to write down the notes. Writing the notes does help you to remember, okay? Again, I cannot answer your questions. I'm lowering your hands. I can't answer your questions because the speaker is not working and I cannot hear you. All right? All right. So now, the bat had been asleep, but now it is flying around. The next example of a conjunction is an example of the conjunction or. Or is when there is a choice. Like if I ask you, do you like pizza or pasta? There's a choice. You can choose pizza, you can choose pasta. Or is used when there is a choice, okay? Greg had to open the window. Greg had to open the window. Or the bat could not escape. All right? So, if Greg didn't open the window, the bat could not escape. There was a choice here. Greg had to open the window, or the bat could not escape. All right? So these are the three conjunctions that we're going to be working on this year. And, but, and or. All right, I'm going to change this compound so that when I put the compounds, here we go. These are all compound sentences. These are sentences that contain two sentences joined by a comma and a conjunction. Comma and, comma but, comma or. Are we drawing on my screen in the middle of the lesson? You know that it shows me your name when you draw on the screen, right? I don't want anybody drawing on the screen in the middle of the lesson. Okay. Now, so we have our conjunctions. We combined our sentences with a comma and a conjunction. The new thing for you this year in grade 4 is that you're going to have to learn how to combine and when to use each conjunction. When do I use and? When do I use but? When do I use or? All right, so let's talk a little bit more about that. All right, so when you want to show that the two ideas are similar, we use and, which means that the things are related. They have similarities. When we use but, it means that the things are opposite, different. When we use or, it means that there is a choice. This couldn't happen unless this happened, okay? Or. All right, so if Greg didn't open the window, the bat couldn't escape. So there was a choice to make. All right, let's look at a couple more examples. Our time goes by so very quickly. All right, let's look at a few more examples together. A bat is a mammal. Okay, a bat is a mammal. It can fly. A bat is a mammal. It can fly. Two sentences that talk about the bat. They are related. They are both giving us information about the bat. So we can combine these two sentences by joining the group of words together with a conjunction. Since they are related and they are similar and they both give us information, we are going to use the conjunction and. A bat is a mammal, comma, remember after the first sentence, we put a comma, and then we use the conjunction. And it can fly. Okay, so we combine, and it can fly. So we combine the two sentences that have related information, both giving us information about the bat, into one sentence. A bat is a mammal, comma, and a conjunction. We used and, comma, and it can fly. Okay, so we combined here using our comma and conjunction. Let's look at another example. Another example is, their bodies are furry. Their bodies have fur. Their wings are leathery. Okay, so their bodies are furry. Their wings are leathery. These are different. Furry is different from leathery. So we're going to combine, let me move this down to the second page for you. We're going to combine, again, using comma and conjunction. Their bodies are furry, their wings are leathery. Their bodies are furry, comma, remember comma after our first sentence, then we're going to use the conjunction. We're going to use the conjunction but. We're using but because the information we're giving is different. The bodies are furry, but their wings are leathery. Okay? Okay, the bodies are furry, but their wings are leathery. Again, we have used a comma after the first sentence and a conjunction to combine our two sentences. Let's do another. I'm sure that you all remember doing this now in grade 3, but with the conjunction and. All right. Let's do one more. A brown bat may live in a barn. A brown bat may live in a barn. This is our first sentence. A brown bat may live in a barn. It may prefer a cave. Prefer means that it likes it, it chooses it, it would rather do that. So here it says, a brown bat may live in a barn, it may prefer a cave. What it's telling you is that some brown bats like to live in barns, others would rather live in caves, okay? So to combine these two, now we have a choice, living in the barn or living in the cave. So we're going to use a comma after our first sentence. A brown bat may live in a barn, comma. we have a choice, the barn or the cave. So we're going to use the conjunction or it may prefer a cave. All right, once again, we have joined our two sentences by using comma and a conjunction. All right, quickly we'll review. Combining, using compound sentences, using conjunctions, which are words that combine words or groups of words. Compound sentence, two sentences joined by a comma and a conjunction. This is a compound sentence. When we put two sentences together using comma and a conjunction to join them. All right, we are using 3 conjunctions this year: and, but, or. These 3 conjunctions are used in 3 different ways. And, to show that something is related. But, to show that there is a contrast, a difference. Or to show that there is a choice. All right? We have 3 examples here. Let's do a couple more before time runs out and the Zoom closes. All right, let's do another. Frogs eat bugs. Frogs eat bugs. Yucky. We don't want to eat any bugs, do we? Bats do too. All right, so we have information about frogs and we have information about bats. Frogs eat bugs, so this tells us that they eat bugs, and it tells us that bats eat bugs too. So they are related. They are similar. So we will use the conjunction and to combine. Frogs eat bugs. What do I put after my first sentence? Comma, my conjunction, and bats do too. Remember that when we write the second sentence after our conjunction, the first word is lowercase at the beginning. We don't keep it capital. It's not 2 separate sentences, it's in one. So we don't want a capital letter floating around in the middle of our sentence. Again, we have combined using comma and conjunction. All right, next. Two more sentences that will combine. Some people fear bats. Some people fear bats. They're afraid of them. Others like them. Some people fear bats. Others like them. There's a difference. Some are afraid. Some like them. Okay? Some people fear bats. Others like them. There's a difference there. So we're going to combine